afternoon. My name is Rich Nass, and I am the Executive Vice President of Open Systems Media, and I am here for our latest installment of 5 Minutes With. Our candidate today, I don't know if candidate's the right word, our interviewee today is Drew Jensen, the Chief Marketing Officer for Sage Electronics Engineering. Hello, Drew. How are you?
Good. How are you, Rich?
Very good, thank you. Very good. Okay, so let's be very clear that you have a marketing title, but you're not what I would consider a marketing guy. You're a tech guy, right?
Yes, absolutely. I've had a lot of experience in the technology space.
We don't want to scare anybody off with that marketing title. Okay, so knowing what I know about you, you are a big believer in open source software. Is that correct?
Yes, okay. Absolutely.
Why? Why are you a big believer in open source software?
Rich, I think it really has to do with the flexibility that open software provides. Certainly, it gives you a lot of flexibility in terms of the implementation. And I've been most of my career in the embedded space, and particularly in the embedded markets. We see just tremendous amounts of diversity that are challenging to meet the needs of that diversity with proprietary one-size-fits-all solutions. And I think open source really provides the flexibility to provide a lot of different types of capabilities, not only in the implementations, but also provides a lot of flexibility from a business perspective in giving decision makers the capability to decide if they're going to make something or if they're going to buy something. Do I want to invest in going out and building my own custom solution using open source software, or do I want to go in and purchase an open source solution that's a more commercialized solution that can be customized to fit my needs? And so it gives a lot of flexibility, both in terms of the implementation capabilities as well as the business decisions.
Now, you know as well as I do that there are downsides to open source software. I mean, isn't it sort of the rule that if you get burned once, you learn that you should not be going down that route? And when I say burned, that might not be the right term, but people want to reduce memory footprint, so you might be looking at code that's not written very tightly. Or, frankly, there could be bugs in the code that didn't come out until you put it into your specific application. So how do you deal with those issues, and is it worth the risk?
Yeah, and I think there's a lot of misconceptions about open source that are out there, and certainly there's community-developed code, and certainly there's some risks inherent with going out and taking community-developed code and trying to put it into a production system. So you have to go into open source with your eyes open and realize if I'm going to do it myself and I'm going to start with community code and I'm going to make the investment, then there's certain levels of carefulness, I guess, that you need to have, or precision in your implementations, and making sure that you're very meticulously validating and making sure that code, as you pull it out of the community and put it into your production solution, that it's going to be solid and have the robustness that you need. Now, certainly, there's lots of other options that are available for companies out there. There's many companies that provide more commercialized open source solutions. Red Hat is a good example of a company that really pioneered taking community-developed code and making it really robust and solid and commercialized for the market. So I think it's just about really understanding what options are available and what levels of risk that you want to take versus what levels of investment that you're able to make. But again, I think the open source really gives you a lot more flexibility in being able to make those kind of decisions.
Okay, that's certainly a fair argument. You may find this hard to believe, but we're just about up against our 5-minute window here. But I wanted to ask you just one quick question on a completely different topic. You spent most of your career working at a pretty big company, somebody named Intel. And now you're at a much smaller company. What's the biggest difference between working at a huge company as opposed to working at a much smaller company?
Well, I think probably the biggest difference is in the impact of decisions that you make. I think when you're steering a big ship like Intel and you make a small course correction, there's going to be some change, and you'll see that, and you'll notice that change. But it's not as noticeable when you're in a small boat and you make a small course correction, and suddenly you're making huge impacts to not only the company but to the people and the employees in the company. And so it gives you a much more sense of impact and understanding of, okay, every little decision that I make, no matter how big or small that decision is going to have huge repercussions to the company and to the people that are in the company. And so it's just a different mindset that you have when you're in a smaller company.
That's a great way to look at it, and I can certainly appreciate that. We are at our 5-minute mark, so we have to cut it off here. That was really interesting, the discussion about the open source software. So that was Drew Jensen, the Chief Marketing Officer for Sage Electronics Engineering. Thanks for your time, Drew. I really appreciate it.
My pleasure, Rich. Thank you.